Hey there, friends and enemies, JoPaWrites here again, and today I wanted to talk about the weapons you need to try out once they're buffed in the next Destiny 2 patch. If you didn't know, 180 hand cannons, 450 auto rifles, 180 and 150 scout rifles, all getting buffed in PvP with the next update, and I'm very excited. I was a long time prosecutor main, and I really want 450s to shine again, and I'm hopeful that we'll see some good ones here in the future. Now, 7th Serve Carbine, the Number, Shadow Price, and Firefight are the ones that are currently available to use. Although you can pull out some old ones in PvP because outside of trials, all of these are available to use because there are no power level requirements in any PvP, including Iron Banner. So you can test all these trial ones you like, but Firefight is going to be the number one option, I think, for most people because you're able to craft it, you're able to get that perfect roll, and it's something that I think you should absolutely start working on now in case this does become the meta once it is buffed. This is the number one auto rifle that I would be looking out for. However, next season will be interesting. If you have a good number, if you have a good shadow price, next season with Arc 3.0, these two are going to be top priorities to look at in PvP because you can synergize them really well with the Arc 3.0 subclasses that are coming out. Just keep that in mind. I'm not sure how many people have these or how many of them have good rolls, but I would say those are two to look out for. But Firefight is the number one on the list to check out. Next up, we got the scout rifles. Now, Nameless Midnight was running rampant in Destiny 2 PvP for a long time, so we'll see if that actually comes back and becomes a thing to watch out for going forward. Now, we've got Talons of the Eagle. There's a lot of options right now with these two archetypes that are getting buffed. The Scholar, if you have one, Guiding Sight. We've got loads of different possibilities, and the Persis D, this one is one that is widely available. I think a lot of people would have this in their inventory, so it's definitely one to try out once you get that. We've also got the Hung Jury. If you got this, is one that I think is going to be actually very, very good. However, the top two for this season right now, Vision of Confluence, if you have it, as well as the Staccato. Now, Staccato, I think, is actually already underrated, so once it does get buffed, I think this is going to be the best scout rifle for PvP, in my personal opinion. However, Vision of Confluence is another really good one. If you have a solid roll on this, definitely one to check out. I've been using it in PvE a lot, but it'll be really nice to check it out in PvP, and it'll synergize, obviously, with Solar 3.0. Tears of Contrition is a very interesting one as well, because this is another craftable weapon. You can get a fantastic roll on it, and not only that, but you'll be able to use it in the kinetic slot, so that's an interesting option. Pointed Inquiry, that's another craftable option. However, I don't know if it's going to be that good. It works with Void, so if you have a Void build, you really want to benefit from it with like some Void buffs in the future, that's an option as well. Royal Chase, I don't think is that good, and probably not a lot of people have kept those. Other than that, those are really the main options. So I would rank them Staccato as the number one scout rifle to be on the lookout once this buff does happen, and then maybe look at Tears of Contrition next. However, don't sleep on something like Vision of Confluence. Now we go to the hand cannons, and this is a spot that I'm very curious about because I've long liked the 180 hand cannons more so than most people. We've got all kinds of different options like the 7th Seraph. We've got the Icolos or the Posterity. This is one that next season could be really, really good with Arc 3.0, as I've been saying. That is something to keep in mind, and I think it's one that could be very good. However, for now, the easiest one to get your hands on, Survivor's Epitaph. I guarantee you either have a good roll or can find a good roll if you don't have one already, because they just drop all the time. I've had a bunch of rolls for this drop, and I have a good one that I've been saving just for this moment because it's a weapon that feels really good, really crispy. Frontier's Cry is one that if you're using Solar 3.0 and you want something to synergize with your build, this could be a solid option as well. I don't like the way this one feels personally, and same thing with Nature of the Beast. I've never really enjoyed using this hand cannon, so of those options, I think Survivor's Epitaph would be number one. And then from what I've been hearing, Posterity should be a big option for you as well, if you can get into the raid and get one to drop, which unfortunately I have not. Overall, those are the main legendary weapons. However, we have 3 exotics that are also going to be getting this buff that are in those archetypes that I mentioned, and I'm very, very excited about. First and foremost, Malfeasance. It's the number one that I cannot wait to use. I've been waiting for this to be good in PvP forever, and now I'm really hopeful that it will be. So this is top of my list. We've also got Jade Rabbit, which I think could potentially be very, very solid, and is one that we've seen in the past can be really good. So this one is definitely one to keep an eye on. So we may be entering a Jade Rabbit meta, although I hope it doesn't return as strong as it has been in the past. And then we've got Polaris Lance, which could be pretty solid as well. I'm not sure if it'll ever be meta fully in PvP, whereas Skybrenner's Oath is not one that I'm not really going to touch on, because I don't see it ever being solid outside of a meme weapon in general. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Helps me out tremendously, and so if you want to see more Destiny 2 content from me. Also, let me know in the comments down below, which of these weapons, legendary or exotic, are you most excited about using after the buffs. Anyway, my name is JoPa. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you all later.